Hi there, my name's Graeme Turner. This is the second set of 10 video clips that we're doing for Trevor James. In this section of clips we're assuming that, that you're just a little bit beyond being a beginner saxophonist, that you've been playing a few months and that you're beginning to really sort of pick up on some things which are starting to get a little bit more advanced. So we're going to try and cover a few topics in this section about better breathing, intonation, long note quality, high notes, low notes, that kind of stuff. Okay. So first of all, we're going to talk about intonation, keeping your instrument in tune with itself. Now, first of all, the saxophone is tuned by pulling the mouthpiece on and off onto this cork at the top of the neck. Okay, so if your saxophone, for example, is a little bit flat, you might find that you want to push your mouthpiece on just to sharpen it up a little bit. You might find that if you're a bit sharp, you want to pull that mouthpiece back a little bit. Okay, and even just a fraction, even just a small movement there of bringing it back sort of, you know, 1/8 of an inch will create quite a difference to the tuning of the instrument. So this is something which is definitely going to affect you if you're starting to get involved with taking examinations and you're playing with a pianist, or you're playing with the school band, or you're playing with friends, anything like that. Even if you're starting to play along with CD accompaniment with the books and tutorial things which you're using from your teachers. So intonation. This is about keeping the instrument in tune with itself. What we're going to notice is that the higher that we go up the instrument, the more opportunity we've got really for the instrument to be a little bit flat if we don't support our air column correctly, if we don't have our chops in the right position, and we don't want that. Okay, so it could give you this kind of thing. I'm just going to play a G here. Now, if we was a bit unsure about the actual tuning, and our lip was just going to let us down a little bit, we could have this kind of thing going on. Back into being in tune with itself. If your lips are a little bit too tight, if your whole embouchure is a little bit too tight there, you can even blow the note sharp at the top there. Okay, so you need to be careful that you're going to work intonation correctly. Now, the best way for you to do that will be to work up slowly, and usually the problems with intonation occur around about sort of G with the octave key on, working upwards. Okay, especially when you get into the palm keys, which we will come on to a little bit later. But just for the time being, we'll stick between G and C, even C sharp just there. So let's listen to them. All the time to be in tune with each other. If you go to your piano keyboard, you should be able to find that if you play a C middle register and you play a C an octave above, that it's the same note. It's just one octave difference. C to there, an octave below. They're all going to sound, they're all going to be a C. We want that to happen on here. So we need to be very, very careful about how we support ourselves, that the diaphragm's giving us enough air, that we're supporting from the abdominal muscles here, we're kicking nicely, but also that we're keeping our mouth nice and still, okay, nice and correct, so that we're getting that airflow in there, and it's making the whole thing be in tune with itself. So you would want to start doing some exercises, and you can work up chromatically there. can work your way back down. There are various different exercises that you can pick up to do this, but you want to spend a little bit of time checking the tuning, checking the intonation between your instrument, and it will affect you even more once you get onto the palm keys, which we'll talk about in a little while.